What's happening on the ground is really an unprecedented catastrophe from the point of view of the humanitarian situation in the West Bank and in Gaza. Your preview just mentioned the West Bank, and it's been the deadliest year in the West Bank since the United Nations started keeping records, about 20 years ago. We've seen more, in addition to deaths and injuries, we've seen more building destructions, displacement of Palestinians, and takeovers of Palestinian land by settlers and settlements. All of that is the worst on record, but it pales in comparison to what we're seeing in Gaza, where already 40,000 people have been killed, about 94,000 have been wounded, and those figures are almost certainly undercounts because the healthcare and health tracking system has been dismantled. So we don't really know how many people are dying of disease. They can't keep the records. In addition to that human toll, we don't know how many people are buried under the rubble. And the rubble is everywhere. 60% or more of every single structure in Gaza is damaged now or completely destroyed. And then when you think of what people are going through, Gaza had a little more than 2 million people before the start of this conflict. Mm-hmm. Almost every single one of them has been displaced now, many up to 10 times. And about 89% of the territory of Gaza is under Israeli military evacuation orders. So all of these people are increasingly crammed into a tiny space where there isn't water access, there isn't electricity, there isn't food, there isn't medical care. So it's a really catastrophic situation.
Yeah, Bill, now we're also hearing of reports of polio outbreak in Gaza, where some UN agencies are actually operating from a humanitarian point of view. What changes if a ceasefire deal is reached?
Yeah, basically every single major humanitarian organization has called for a ceasefire because they want to be able to vaccinate about 640,000 children in the Gaza Strip, which has just seen the first recorded polio cases in 25 years. The reason that outbreak is happening, and I should say it's not just polio. I mean, we're talking to doctors who say everybody in Gaza has diarrhea now. Hepatitis A is spreading. Other waterborne diseases are spreading. And, the reason is that there's just no clean water access. The water people have been surviving on as little as 2 liters of water per day. And this conflict has been going on for 10 months. They've been displaced many times, as I said. So with no clean water, also the sewage treatment facilities are offline because they don't have electricity or the fuel needed to run the backup generators when there's no electricity. So you've just got basically a public health disaster that's may have reached the tipping point already.
On top of that, how would you sum up what you have seen this war do to both Israel and Gaza?
I mean, Palestine is really... it's a shambles. The West Bank is on the run from settler attacks, and Gaza has been largely reduced to rubble. The situation in Israel since October 7th, many people lost family members, people we're talking to, traumatized. There's mass displacement as well on the Israeli side from the northern border and the Gaza envelope. And there's other issues going on with Israel as well. You've got the ongoing International Criminal Court case, which is considering arrest warrants against Prime Minister Netanyahu and the Minister of Defense, Yoav Gallant. You've got 2 cases at the International Court of Justice. One just issued an advisory opinion saying the occupation is unlawful, all the settlements should be dismantled. Another is being led by South Africa on charges of genocide. So this is really it's an unprecedented situation for both countries.